today is the unraveling and the opening of these boxes. So if you don't know the story, if you're brand new to my channel, welcome. If you're kind of like OG or kind of signed up in the last 60 days perhaps, you will know that I had a whole bunch of items removed from storage that were then sitting in my living room hallway. Then I decided to move them to my bedroom, and then I thought, you know what, I'll just cover them with a sheet because I'm not really that digging looking at boxes constantly. So to cut a long story short, I will be here for the next 7 months or so, and then I'll be relocating because, like, let's face it, I just have too much stuff for this little apartment. It doesn't serve my needs anymore, and to be quite frank, I'm kind of getting over being smack bang in the middle of the CBD with construction workers and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I thought to myself, there's really no point for me to unpack what's in those boxes, considering that I'm going to be repacking anyway come the end of the year. But then, okay, so there's been a few dilemmas on the way, such as things giving me allergies and the dust and and then there was a cockroach that I saw the other night which freaked me out, which if you saw my video yesterday or the day before, you know that I did this big like spray thingy in my house because of that. Now I haven't seen any more cockroaches, so that's a really good thing, but I'm kind of like, I'm not really digging this here. I feel like I'm slightly spectrum OCD, like not overly OCD, but spectrum. So for me to like wake up and see this is kind of like, I'm just feeling temporary. I'm feeling cluttered and I'm feeling temporary. Now, if you look inside my closet is not the tidiest, it's probably overcrowded and whatever, but this is all just about my organization. Like, I could find homes for everything that's in here if I just spent the time to do so. So that's what we're here to do today, guys, is we are going to unpack this, unclutter it. There's going to be things in there that obviously I'm going to have to like put away because it's really irrelevant, like textbooks from old courses and things like that. But in saying that too, it's also a really good opportunity for me to just put things on eBay and sell them. So if you haven't checked out my eBay store is down below. Now, because it's a new account, I do have some seller limits, so obviously I can't put things on all the time, you know, it has to go like month by month by month. So, but I will be bit by bit like getting rid of things that I have that you might like, so do hit me up, like shoes and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, the big unravel. But also in addition to this, I just want to point out that from a psychological perspective, psychologists say that if the bedroom is really messy, or if the back office is really messy of a shop, it means you're emotionally and psychologically cluttered yourself. Like, your mind and your life is also messy. So for me, I don't like a messy life. I like organization and tidiness, and I've always been the same. So I really need to just really sort this out because I cannot tolerate this for the next like 7 months. So let's get to it. Just so much effort with this to make this like, oh, you know. Do bit by bit here, get through this, get through that, and then attack these ones. I guess it's like step by step at a time. I think the next step is I go down and I see how much room I have left in the storage cage and try and rearrange that to fit those other boxes down there. It might not look like I have done very much at all, but I have done a lot. That needs to obviously go in the washing machine. There's another load that's in the dryer now, and there's another load to be washed, and this needs to be washed along with my bed linen is what I'm down to. Like, from all of that wall being filled up to that. And besides the gym gear, ignore the gym gear, is magazines, print media that I will be selling. Obviously a big clearance because I'm like, you know what, I'd just rather get rid of it, cut it like the price really low. I might give 50% off just to try and like boost sales, and just because I don't really need it. I'd rather go out to my fans. I've just got a little bit of washing to do. Once that's like done, the washing up, then that will be filled. And I think like in time, once that's all done, I can bit by bit go through my clothes, put them on eBay, put them for sale. I'm like, I should have just done this months ago. I would have saved myself so much money and effort in storage fees, like $200 a month for storage, when I could have just dealt with this. Good morning, guys. So the Update is I have done most of what I needed to do except for 2 boxes, which I'm just about to show you. I'm getting like some cabin fever, like especially after yesterday and doing all of that. So I have the other boxes which I've got to take downstairs, as well as some recycling and things. I've done 2 loads in the wash. If you can hear that, that's the dryer going off with some more, and the delicates are obviously airing. I've got 2 tea chests. I've got 2 tea chests that I still need to do, but you know what? They can wait. It was such a big job. And you know why it was a big job? It was a big job because they smelt of that op shop smell. And the reason they smelt of that op shop smell was because I like to buy vintage clothes, and I had a couple of items that had kind of started to develop a smell. Like they didn't have a smell when I brought them. They didn't have a smell. I didn't notice it, but I think it was just so slight. And because they've been packed in these tea chests for so long, like they were in storage for 4 years, as well with all my other clothes, like the smell just kind of like went all up inside everything. So that's the story. So they are all getting washed. Admittedly, I do have to wash the others as well that I put in the cupboard because they didn't smell when I was kind of like sniff testing them. But I realize now that they do. So I'm kind of dealing with it bit by bit. Like those were the worst offenders that I'm doing now. Then I'm going to have to get to the rest in due course, because if not, the rest of my cupboard is going to stink, like all of it. But for now, I'm actually feeling very relieved. I've obviously changed my bed sheets. Excuse the unmatching pillowcases. The other one is in the wash now because I just didn't do that. And yeah, I'm going to go for a walk. I need to get out of this apartment. I need to take that stuff down to the basement, go for a long, long walk and clear my mind, because I'm actually go on these like OCD cleaning rampages, and then I kind of like need to chill a little bit. This thing here is what I like. If I'm sitting down anywhere or in bed, this stand is like a lifesaver for me. The 2 remaining tea chests, I mean, it's a pretty, considering what I had to this, a really good outcome. Magazines, 1 lot of clothes ready to dry, another stuff ready to dry. It's all done. Practically 98% is done. I just have a couple of red items just to wash, and it is Monday afternoon. It took me Saturday, Sunday, and half of Monday to kind of finish all of this off. It was a big job. So what this has really taught me, I left home when I was 15. I've mentioned this before in previous things. I won't go into that now, but I left with my guitar, my school stuff, and some clothing, right? In a government housing and everything. Like I pretty much just had enough to, you know, eat and whatever. So when I started working and making money, I became like, wow, I can buy nice things. Like I can buy nice things, and I become really, really sentimental. Like things that people give me, I like hold on to, I like keep, you know, things that it's really hard for me to part ways with things because of this, because I had nothing from then, that it's just, that's how it is. So that's obviously like why I had things in storage, was because I just can't part with things. So I thought, you know, I'll just put it all in storage, when it ultimately really, I could have just put everything into here, sorted it all out. It'd been in storage for 4 years, and by this time I would have had, you know what I mean, like a much more minimalistic and realistic space. In saying that though, I do know that there are people out there who are a hell of a lot worse than me. You know what, I kind of do okay on the spectrum of things, but this is just my own awakening into what I have realized with all of this. I was a big consumer, like back then too, you know, when I'm talking in my late teens, early 20s, I was a huge consumer, and I probably went for more quantity over quality. Now I'm more quality over quantity. Like I don't mind to invest in something that's of expense if it's gonna have like last me for a lifetime, you know, like forever. So in saying that, like my whole habits have changed, but it was really, really eye-opening to me that how much of a consumer that I have become. Well, no, I'm actually not really now, but I was very, very bad. So especially with like the environmental stuff that's going on, like the bushfires and the climate and everything like that, like I'm obviously very much active in all of this. I can all do better. So looking forward to kind of decluttering. In saying that as well, like I also just like I collect like recyclables too. So things go off to certain programs, like they're companies that are with TerraCycle, and so I had like a whole bunch of things that I needed to also take down, like send off to Fauna and Flora. It's a website that once you send off all these like cosmetics that can't be recycled and stuff, and I'm much better now. I buy things that are zero waste and more eco, but I'm being resourceful and obviously using what I have. And also because now they're not taking keep cups, I do have like a whole collection of, you know, cups in there, which I'm waiting for Westfield to still put the bins back out so I can take those down. So it's been a really good cleanse for me. Yeah, it's been a stressful few days just because I'm just like, I'll get all this done, and then I almost cried when I, you know, pulled out those items and they had the color on them, and then I was like, wake up, check, like, wake up, if you didn't even miss these before. But sad though that I can't now give them to charity unless it comes out, but I'm certain that they will. So I hope you like this video, and I hope it inspires you to also declutter and to part ways with some of the things that you have as well. If you don't need it, you don't need it. You need good quality things that are going to last you for a very, very long time. And we don't need to get like into this trap that I have been in before of consumerism. Like, just because it's cheap doesn't mean you need it. Please remember to give me that thumbs up if you really like this video, as well as the subscribe to see more, and the bell notifications to get notifications of all my future videos. Stay safe everyone, and I'll see you next time.